Hi, my name is Catherine. I just recently graduated from nursing school in May, and I'm going to share with you guys my non traditional path to nursing school. So, a little bit about me or how I got into nursing is that I went to a 4 year university. It was a small liberal arts college. They didn't have a nursing degree or major. I also didn't realize I wanted to do nursing till later on. At my university, I graduated with a chemistry and theater degree. I went in as a chemistry major, hoping that I would be a chemistry teacher for our high school students, but it wasn't until later on that I realized that it wasn't really the path I wanted to go to, and I didn't really like chemistry that much to be teaching it for the rest of my life. So I started looking into what I can do with this degree after I graduated. And it just so happens that my school has a program called a community health coach program. I applied, I got in, and for one semester, we took a seminar class learning about how we can help the neighboring community that I was in with certain things that they needed. So in the spring semester, every week I would go visit my patient. I would catch up on them. I would ask them if there were any changes in their health history, do vital signs, and report back for a post conference at my school with the rest of my classmates. So after doing that, I realized that I really enjoy the interaction I had with my patient, and I initially didn't think that nursing was for me, but as I spoke with more people who looked like me and I did my own research, this was something that I slowly became really passionate about. So, this is when my whole research and journey of how to get into nursing school started. Just completed I just completed 4 years of undergrad. I didn't want to go through another 4 years to get my BSN. And nobody really told me about this, but there's something called an accelerated BSN program, which means that one of the requirements is that you need to have a undergraduate degree in any major field, fulfill the prereqs of the school, and apply. And so what this accelerate program does is that it takes out all of the gen eds and all the prereqs, and then it jumps straight into the nursing curriculum, the nursing core classes. With a lot of these ABSN programs, the students will finish in less than 2 years, 16 to 18 months, depending on what school you go to. Everything is sped up, everything is faster. I did my program through Loyola University of Chicago. It was a hybrid program, which means that I did a lot of my lectures online, and then we would go in for clinicals, labs, and then also exams. I felt like my journey and my path to nursing school felt like the more expensive path, having gone through 4 years of undergrad and then going through having gone through 4 years of undergrad and then having to go to another university to do the ABSN program. If I knew that nursing was the path that I wanted to go to and the career that I want to do early on, like in high school, there are definitely more affordable routes that I wish I had known about. But everything turned out all right. But I'm here to share with you guys those different paths because nursing school doesn't have to be expensive. So, with nursing, there are a lot of bridge programs, and what that means is that there are a lot of hospitals that are able to support you in your education. So, for example, if you are working as a CNA, I know there are some hospitals that will pay for your school to get your BSN, and then you'll sit in for the NCLEX and then get your RN licensure. So that's one way. Another way is if you would go through a community college to get your associate's degree. And then if you sit in to take your LPN license, and as you work as an LPN, I know some hospitals that will pay you for your BSN. So that's also another way that you can get into the nursing field without having to pay so much for it in a traditional four-year university. I'm not too familiar with this program, but I know it's out there. There's something called non-RN master entry programs, which means that you don't have to have a nursing degree or RN license yet. But if you have a bachelor's degree in any field, you can apply to the university's master's program. I know Columbia has one, and Rush University here in Chicago has one, where you'll be getting a master's degree, and then also be able to sit for the NCLEX after you graduate to get your RN licensure. But I don't know too much about that or know of anybody that has gone through those programs, but it's also out there if you want a master's level education in nursing, while also getting the nursing kind of like clinical experience too, without having to like get your BSN and then your MSN. Another great thing about nursing is that you can always excel in your career. After you get your BSN, if you want to get your DNP or your PhD, you don't really have to go get your master's first and then your doctorate degree, which I feel like is different to maybe like somebody who is trying to go get their master's in like communications. I'm not sure. But and most of these graduate level degrees, a lot of times like the hospitals will be able to either pay partially or fully fund your education, so that's always a plus. This is also great because as you're a new grad and you're working, you may or may not know the specialty that you want to go into. So having your BSN and then working maybe in like peds, OB, or like on a cardiac floor, and then if you do find your passion in a specific field, you'll be able to like wisely choose what graduate level program you want to go into, which I feel like is great because me personally, I feel like I have a lot of interest within nursing, but there's not really one specific area that I love the most. And so it's nice to like explore your options first, and if you do decide to go back to school, you have time to do so. I feel like I've tried to make this short and concise while giving you guys the chance to look into different programs that I wish I knew of, but didn't. I also feel like I don't know if I answered all of the questions that you guys might have. So if you guys do have questions, I'll definitely be able to answer them in the comment section. And if needed, I'll make a more elaborate video on it and share with you guys. But for now, I don't think I have anything else to share. So, yeah.